South African businesses are gathering in Johannesburg to learn more about trading with the UK through a dedicated trade agreement. The SACUM-UK Economic Partnership Agreement is a free trade agreement between southern African countries, including Botswana, Lesotho and Mozambique. The meeting, bringing together businesses in the automotive and agricultural sector, comes as global trade is being reshaped by tariffs and geopolitical tensions. SABC News economics reporter Nosipho Radebe spoke to the UK-SA Head of Trade Policy. This was at the British High Commission, Natasha Stotesbury.
Well, today's session is about helping South African businesses understand or tap into the UK market under the SACUM-UK EPA and look then at the export opportunities that are available, especially as we see the disruptions in the global trade system. But to help us unpack some of the benefits and possibly maybe challenges that lie ahead, I'm turning to my guest, Head of Trade Policy at the British High Commission, Natasha Stotesbury. Natasha, thank you so much for your time. Maybe if we could start then with what are some of the benefits that South African businesses can look forward to under this agreement?
Thank you so much, Nosipho. It's a real pleasure to be speaking with you today. So my name's Natasha Stotesbury, as you said, and I work with colleagues at the British High Commission as part of the team UK in South Africa on supporting South African businesses to benefit from the free trade agreement that we're really proud to have in place between South Africa, other countries in the Customs Union and Mozambique. And this is not a usual free trade agreement. We call it an economic partnership agreement because it's specifically designed as a development-focused trade agreement to help provide more preferential access to the UK market for businesses to export their goods, almost all duty-free, i.e. zero tariff, to the UK market. So permanent, immediate, duty-free access to the UK market for 95% of products from South Africa to the UK.
Now, Natasha, are there any sort of other opportunities that are available then to business looking maybe at skills transfers, investments that they can also tap into?
Yes, so we're here today in partnership with SACI and the DTIC to talk about how we bring our economic partnership agreement to life, because you're absolutely right, a treaty on paper isn't enough. We need to help work with the private sector, hear with the private sector about how we can work together to best support the agreements, the deals actually taking place. So we're talking today also about the importance of investment, so British international investment, the UK's Development Finance Institution, which has a significant portfolio of investments in South Africa, and also the UK's Export Finance Agency, UKEF, UK Export Finance, that also supports exports where there's UK content, helps underwrite and guarantee credit lines to support businesses to expand. We are also talking about the programmatic partnerships we have, the Trade for Development partnerships we have at the moment, working with the DTIC and the Department of Agriculture. We're supporting around 40 small and medium enterprises across South Africa under the United Kingdom's Trade Partnerships Programme delivered by the International Trade Centre. And so just a couple of days ago we were visiting some of these businesses and seeing how the support through this programme is helping them attract more investment and export to international markets, particularly in the agricultural space and also the green tech space, so supporting the incredible innovations we're seeing here in South Africa to support climate mitigation and climate adaptation.
And as you point out, some of the sectors that could stand to benefit, agriculture being one of them, maybe if you could also help us understand how this treaty compares, or this agreement compares to others then.
Yes, so as I mentioned, it's a particular type of trade agreement. It provides greater preferential access, we call it, so lower tariffs to help support exporters find it more competitive to reach the UK market. And it also has particular rules of origin we call them, essentially the economic passport for the good, to try and support greater value addition, greater intra-African trade. And this is also in line with the UK's support for the African Continental Free Trade Area. UK is really proud to work with the Secretariat on supporting implementation of the AfCFTA, recognising the potential that has for businesses across the continent.
And maybe lastly, just to wrap up then, as you talk about those rules of origin, if you could maybe help us unpack, how is the UK helping small businesses then deal with it, because it can sometimes become burdensome?
Yes, I mean, all of the jargon, my goodness, wow. I find it hard to remember all of the words we use in trade policy. So the reason we're here today, and I'm standing here, again, huge thanks to SACI, the South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the DTIC. We're working together at this event to help build awareness of the steps required to make sure that you don't pay the tariffs, because they're not automatic. The preferences aren't automatically applied. The business needs to prove that the product is a South African product or from the customs union in order to make sure that those tariffs aren't paid at point of entry into the UK. So going through the paperwork, the requirements, the steps, as well as non-tariff barriers like how to overcome requirements related, separate from the tariffs into the UK market, is also something that we're discussing and here to help support with.
All right, Natasha, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Real pleasure.
All right, that was the head of trade policy at the British High Commission, Natasha Stotesbury, just helping us unpack the importance of today's event and the benefits and opportunities that lie ahead, of course, then for South African businesses as well as our neighbours under this agreement. Nosipho, Radebe, SABC News, Johannesburg.